Oh shit. Okay.
I gained a fridge.
You gained a fridge.
I have whoever gave me a fridge. So it's singing right now. I apologize for that. That's actually just the boys back in the station.
You know, you can't hear it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You can't hear it at all.
Wait, is it really a fridge?
What?
Huh?
Okay.
Oil?
So let's talk about let's get ready to go and talk about the killer sofa that's not a sofa.
Oh, yeah. Let's do our opener.
Yeah, are we ready for this?
Yeah, let's do fucking hey, we're so ready.
What is up, everybody? I am They Call Me Toby 2. Welcome to Error 404, episode 7. With me, as always, is the infamous John Johnson,
Hello,
also
boys.
known as the director.
Yes, I am the director.
I cannot believe that we've actually survived 7 of these now. Well, we haven't made it through this one, so we'll just say with 6 in a fifth. John, as you can see, is if you guys want to know what's going on with John today, I'll give you a quick clue. Hey, John.
Yes.
When was the last time you saw the movie Halloween?
Listen, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You got this bald doctor. He's yelling about some escape thing that's like a shape. The fuck is a shape? It's a guy in it looked like a Shatner mask, like bleached. I didn't even like Star Trek. Don't go near him because apparently he doesn't like pain or doesn't feel pain. I don't know what the fuck. Hey, don't mess with that over there. Hey! I'm back. Scene.
Forgot Boyo.
No, I get bonus for that. I'm not going to do it every time.
Oh, okay.
I'm not your monkey.
So throughout the course of today, I'm probably going to mention a couple of different horror movies, and John is going to do a reaction as a police officer on scene or speaking to somebody as the lead cop.
Yes.
In the movie.
I get points for saying Boyo.
Yes. We get kudos for camera placement, or at least John does.
That's
from WeDot. That's WeDot.
Oh, WeDot. Oh, judged. I feel like I'm stronger.
So let's discuss this horrible movie called Killer Sofa.
Yes.
That is not about a sofa. John has a theory as to why they call it Killer Sofa.
Yes.
I am still not convinced because throughout the entire movie, they still use the word recliner. Well,
my theory is that they're calling it, the title of the film is called Sofa because of the country it came from. In the movie, they're saying it the way they probably would say it, but I think the title of the movie should have been The Killer Recliner, or I'm sorry, it's about a chair. But instead, they call it The Killer Sofa because I think that's how they refer. I don't know for certain because I've never actually fought a drop bear, but I figure if I had, that I would get the gaining to understand how they do the things they do. I worked with one Australian, a few actually, but the biggest Australian I ever worked with was on Plan 9, and his exact words were, "It's not the snakes you got to worry about. It's the spiders under the goddamn toilet." I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, they bite you and then you die. I am fucking going to Australia. You better not.
Quick question. Is that your Australian accent?
No, that's his specific voice. I don't know what the Australian voices sound like, but that's what he sounded like. Then he picked up a car and threw it down a hill. He did. It's in the movie.
Like a legit, like he picked up by himself.
Yeah, well, there were 2 other guys, but they were just like, you could tell like they went to catch up. Because like he just lifted it and they like their hands went to catch up to get like it was gone.
Okay. So your argument is already semi null and void because they call a couch in Australia either a sofa or a couch.
What do they call recliners?
That's what I'm looking up right now. That's what. Ow! Stop it, dog. That's
why
I'm
didn't you start with that?
Because I wanted to know what they refer to a sofa as. Just
I have
in
other
case.
questions, and
There's always going to be questions. Killer
Yeah.
sofa. I picture a couch with teeth.
It didn't have
Interestingly
teeth.
enough, no teeth.
It vaped. It just went burr. Like the whole movie, it just sat there, just like burr.
They call it a recliner or an armchair.
Well, then the people are just handicapped. I don't know what else to say. They caught the wrong bus.
Wow. I would like to point out that no, never mind. But he means that in
what are
the
you doing?
completely 90 cents of the word.
Oh yeah, no, it's like 60 cents of the word.
So
Your review.
oh god. So all right. So I'm not gonna lie, the premise and the idea of the movie itself was not bad.
I mean, it was a goof thing, and it held up to that.
I will say that the acting in it is pretty much what I expected. I think the Mystery Science Theater 3000ing that we did on it gave more justice to the acting than it rightfully deserved. But overall, the movie was not bad. I still don't understand the guy having sex with her hat and bra.
Yeah, and then there was the guy who orgasmed when he touched the recliner.
Well, he
then stroked his beard,
got
thinking
hit-
about
he
it
got
for the
hit
rest
with
of the movie. He's like, oh,
he got hit with a vision, John. He wasn't orgasming, he had a vision.
well, that's what it's called.
Oh, Jesus.
I need to be religious.
No.
No.
Yeah. Sang Jester's like, that is one fucking hat. So
Yeah.
at one point in time, this guy pulls this girl's hat and one of her bras and throws it on a bed, and then throws the blankets over himself and decides to have sex with her bra and hat. Into which the killer sofa
It did something because it just cracked his head, and then it drug him away later.
yeah.
We don't know.
Like, it
The
walked
sofa
in
is
like
not very good at killing people.
It did this through the door.
So what I figure is that it did that. Yeah. So I figured that this is just like Cherry's drunken uncle. Cherry is the chair from Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. You know, Cherry's like, "Hi, I'm Cherry." There was that fucking dog that like no one would have sit on because it would probably eat them because that all that this is all 90% mouth. And then I figured this is like their uncle. That's just like, I've had a little too much to drink. I've been vaping all day, and I can't see shit because my eyes are buttons.
Just in the buttons, the button eyes.
This.
I will say I'm disappointed. We watched that entire movie, and I don't remember seeing the window scene.
We were probably talking through it, but the one thing that actually the surprising thing about the movie is that it's called Killer Sofa, and there's not one joke the entire film.
No,
they went completely serious with it.
Yeah, not a single. Yeah, they went dead serious for the entire thing.
They're just like they're looking at it and they're like, "What if we just did the Godfather of sofa chair movies?"
This Rubber or the creep behind the camera?
Rubber is Rubber
First of
definitely
all,
beats it.
Yeah, we don't talk down about Rubber. Rubber is a masterpiece.
Oh, fuck Rubber. I had to sit beside that damn tire for an entire weekend.
I fucking love that movie. I would get its autograph before John Johnson.
You sit beside that tire for like, never mind.
I'll do it.
And he gets, you watch a rubber tire that came from a store, get a bigger line than you. This is the story of my life.
I mean, it's just like being on TikTok.
Or going to a convention.
I mean, if I could throw a piece of cake in front of it, then I can act like it's Charlie D'Amelio.
I did.
Look at all the attention you're getting just for having a piece of cake in front of you and doing nothing. Awesome.
I gave you a cake when you got 100K followers, 100,000 followers, and you couldn't eat cake.
I can't eat cake.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Dick move is what it was.
Well, I didn't put my dick in it, but I was thinking that it would be a nice move. But I didn't realize you couldn't eat cake. What
is the creep behind the camera? Is that a movie?
I'm not too familiar with that one, but if it's saying Jester talking about it, then he knows his movies.
Okay. So I honestly, I didn't think the movie was bad. I wasn't expecting the ending on there.
Oh yeah. Where like David Lynch came in and goes, okay, everybody
we're changing everything.
You're going to shut up. We're going to bring a midget and a log, and there's going to be a guy with no face. And we're going to go in here and don't talk to me. I did Lost Highway. I did not.
A guy with no face that had been dead for what'd they say, 2 weeks?
No,
2 weeks.
Well,
yeah.
When did they remove his face? He dies in the beginning of the movie, but I never remember him taking the face
But
off.
they don't give it. They don't give a time frame
They never took
as
the
to when
face.
that was happening versus when they got the
Words. Boyo.
the recliner when they got
The recliner. We should make the
Fuck.
sequel and just call it Recline.
We should make a sequel, call it Recliner, and have it be a sofa.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Killer recliner.
The passive aggressive recliner.
Yes.
You're like, hey, oh, it's you. You done anything good today?
We need to watch The Lost Skeleton of Card.
I know this film. I know the director. He actually gave me a copy of the movie and the sequel. It's actually very, very funny. It's one of those movies that's intended to be bad, but they did a good job with it.
Okay, Jester says the creep behind the movie, behind the camera, is a movie, and it is on Amazon. So
I figured as much. He knows his stuff.
So wait a minute. If he's saying that bad, that movie's bad, right? Like apparently, okay, you say he knows his movies.
He does.
But what I'm taking from this is that he doesn't really have all that great of taste in movies because he put Rubber as a bad movie.
He said comparing this to Rubber, as in
Well,
how
he said which is worse.
Well, I didn't like Rubber.
Well, you didn't like Rubber because you got downstaged by a fucking tire from like the local used tire place.
It wasn't even like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Michelob guy. It was just like it just had like a weird name on it. What? I don't want updates. What are you doing?
So, all right. Overall, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It was a fun enough waste of time that you could run that movie in the background and still not lose like track of what's going on. It'd be interesting enough that
All in all, I'm gonna lie and say I'm gonna watch it again.
you say you're going to lie.
Yeah,
I'm never going to watch that movie again. But
I'm gonna watch it 3 times.
I would say that I wouldn't like. I have it downloaded, so if I'm ever doing something in the house and I just need noise, I wouldn't have a problem putting that movie on. Because at no point in time does it ever have like really loud music or anything exciting happening that's going to draw your attention to it.
it has terrible bangs.
Oh God, this guy. Okay, listen, everybody, pay attention. All 24.
Come in
Coming close.
Come in here.
John Johnson
It's me.
hates bangs, and I had to hear about this
Not all bangs,
throughout
just
this
most
entire
bangs.
movie. Every time they showed this girl and her bangs, he was like, this fucking bangs.
It's like a bomb under a table. Let me explain. So in the 90s, girls used to use a lot of hairspray and have these bangs. Like I'm talking like you could shoot a bullet at their hair and it wouldn't go through, but then they would all smoke. And you'd always see that lighter go up, and you just wonder when that hair is just going to go fadoosh. Like that's it. Just at any point, the whole building is going to go because it's just this bomb on their head.
Did you say Fadushi?
Yes, it's how I use a douche. I sneak up on Mariah and go hada fadooshi, and then everything's clean.
Team Weeby.
All right, you go ahead. I'll just.
That's not a problem.
I'll be fine. I'm just have some angry 8.
Well, I mean, Jester, he's like 5 years younger than me. He barely even remembers the 90s. Like,
I barely remember Toby.
this is true. He makes a point of that every time he goes live.
Yes.
So yeah, not the greatest movie, but it's got to be better than what you've been
Making
putting yourself through over
it's
the last.
absolutely better than, huh? What? Oh, no, actually, yeah, the shark movies, the shark movies. Like the only thing I could say that I did that was worse than the shark movies is I watched all 16 witchcraft films. Don't ever do that.
Why?
I think I just needed Parkinson's. I think I had to get it, and the only way I could do it was to watch all 16 witchcraft movies. Then I even called the director and said why. I remember that.
We dot. I'm happy that you bring this up. We dot brings up worst movie ever seen was Birdemic. This was a movie that I presented to John saying, you want to remake a bad movie and try to make it good. This is your movie.
Yeah. No.
And it's I honestly believe it's impossible.
Oh, I have a side note for you. You
Oh.
hate Dark Star and John Carpenter and everything about his beard. And so I was thinking, I did a lookup on it.
I love John Carpenter. I just hated that.
There's actually a big movie review by Blame Society Films about Dark Star and me. That's all they talk about the entire 30 minutes. A little bit of me, whole lot of that movie. I don't know why that happened, but it was just a combo.
Do they talk positively about that movie?
It's like they're half and half. They're very kind though.
See, even Jester can't understand why you watched all 16 Witchcraft.
Oh yeah, and then the 17th came out, and I watched that too.
Oh God!
Called the director again.
So, but you've been watching all the shark movies, but you haven't watched Jaws.
No, I know Jaws.
No, I mean you didn't watch that as part of your movies, right? Like,
no. Essentially, like I'm watching the one. Basically, the big goal. Well, I have to watch. I picked 5 random movies that I thought would be interesting and different, so I don't do anything that they've done. So there's like 200 shark movies. I don't want to copy anybody, which means I have to watch all 6 Sharknadoes just so I know I don't make any of the same jokes, and that's gonna hurt.
You could probably get away with watching the worst Jaws movie, which is Jaws 3D.
I'll agree with that. Jaws 4 was fun because it was Michael Caine versus the ghost of a shark and the last starfighter and Marvin Van Peebles.
Yes,
you can't beat that. It's so bad it's good kind of thing. Like it fucking roars, and the video game was based off of it. It's perfect.
Hey, Jester, we're not talking shit about Batman and his shark repellent.
Shark repellent is called farts. You just bubble in the water, the sharks will leave you alone. Trust me. The
Batman movie.
I mean, when you paint white over a mustache, you're already doing good.
Yeah. You're talking. Well, he refused. Cesar Romero was like, "No, you're not. We'll just paint over it. I'm not getting rid of my mustache."
Yeah. The day I walk up to a man named Caesar and ask him to do anything, I figure I made mistakes. I shouldn't be there.
So what is the next thing besides Killer Sofa, which was not recommendable?
I believe we've chosen our next film, which we're going to announce. American Nightmare.
Ah, yes.
Which I believe is done by the twins. I can't remember their names exactly, but they're really big in the horror movie industry. They do a lot of stuff on Shudder. They had a really cool, actually a game show about people in horror atmospheres and trying to like solve puzzles and stuff like that. I can't remember their name, but I've never seen the movie.
Well, I've never even heard of the movie, so you know me. That'll be so. As much as I like horror movies, like I haven't seen like a ton of them, but I love watching like the cheesy, horrible horror movies.
I believe this movie is very graphic. These girls are known for their horror, like their gore and stuff.
Oh, so this is more of a gore, like a gore movie.
I'm assuming, yeah,
like the old Fangoria days, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's when I was into horror movies. Was when Fangoria magazine was like real big on the shelf, and
oh yeah, Fangoria made 3 movies.
Wait,
they did.
Fangoria made 3 movies.
They did. They made 3 movies, and they're gory as fuck, and they're amazing.
Ooh.
First one is called Children of the Night, starring Peter DeLuise and Amy Dolenz, a vampire film. Where the vampires, when they go to sleep, they actually spit out their lungs and cocoon themselves in their own filth. And then then when I guess who was the one of the vampires was Exorcist. What is her name? Linda Blair. Linda Blair played one of the vampires, and then one of the heroes was a bum. George, I can't remember his name. He was on the first season of SNL. He was the only black conehead.
Oh.
I can't remember his last name, but he was amazing in this film. Peter DeLuise, obviously Dom DeLuise's son.
All right.
And Amy Dolenz, who's Mickey Dolenz' daughter from
the
Monkeys. So they're the 3 leads trying to save the town of vampires. The second film they made was called Mind Warp, starring Bruce Campbell and Angus Grimm, about a post-apocalyptic future where people get in a matrix put in the back of their neck. So then they made a movie called The Matrix that was the same thing. Yeah. And so Bruce Campbell is a character who survived on the outside of the world without going into the Matrix. And a girl gets thrown from the Matrix, and he finds her, and then realizes there's cannibals, and Angus Grimm is doing evil things, and Bruce Campbell's trying to save her. And there's leeches that get into your brain. And then there's Severed Ties, which doesn't have anybody in it, but it's super gory about essentially body parts in a morgue coming into life. These films are amazing. Fangoria just dropped the gauntlet and just said, we're going to make some horror movies.
I just said, fuck this, man. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So the question came up, and I have to bring this up. Like, which American horror or American Nightmare are we watching? Because I'm looking this up on the Likewise app.
I think they're called the Scolista Sisters, or they're probably the director. Unless I'm getting the title wrong.
I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure it. Let's hear. There's one from 1983.
That's probably not that one.
Okay. And then let's hear. Nope. And then there's one. Nope, that's a TV show. And then there's one in 2002 about a deranged female serial killer.
That would be it.
Okay. And that is available for me to watch only on Hoopla.
I can get it. I think I probably have it.
Okay. And then there's another one called The American Nightmare that came out in 1991. And the description for it is a video full of swastikas, human skulls on American flag backdrops, girls Frenching on department store mannequins, and burning themselves with candles.
So it's like the real world?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently. It's a documentary.
Real world.
That's a documentary.
Yes. About New Jersey.
Yeah. Military helmets and clomping boots, dudes masturbating under crucifixes, and a bunch of crotches.
Oh, well, you always need a bunch. Wouldn't it be a gaggle of crotches?
I would imagine.
Like, just saying.
Did you?
I mean, that's what they call it, right?
Well,
it's a gaggle. Boyo, come back to me. Don't die. We got more show to do.
All right. So, good Christ. All right. Okay. Jester says it came out in 2018. I am not finding this version.
Is it by the Scolista? Is the sisters? Is it by the twins? Sang me this, Jester. Is it by the twins?
I can't find one that was in 2018.
Well, a lot of them get re-released. Like, a couple of
crotches that doesn't say who made it. So,
I can't remember how to spell their name, but if it's by the twins, like they go to conventions, they're really cool girls. Like they're really big about just being super gory. And Toby EXE stopped working. Oh, type in load star, comma 8, comma 1.
No, you forgot the quotes. You have to have the quotes. It's got to be load.
I didn't
quote,
want it to work.
Star quote, comma 8, comma 1.
All right. Up, down, left, right, BA. And if you hit select start, you have a friend.
Konami code is not. I don't need more lives.
I do.
I don't need God mode enabled. My fucking chicken is being so aggressive right now.
If I had a dime.
Every time I heard that.
Rusty. Oh, no, it's not that one.
What did they say in give me a cop quote from Nightmare on Elm Street, John? He's like, oh God, I've already got this one set up ready to go.
So me and a couple of the parents, we got that fucker. We got him right where he fucking took those children. Yeah, we burned him. We fucking burned him. And you can't tell me that I didn't do the right fucking thing. You can take my badge. You can take everything. But he's not getting my Hey. What's going on? Ah!
Scene. I'm going to do that anytime we're on set from now on. Okay, here you go. I'm going to hear you go. Cut. I'm going to be like, and scene.
Okay. They have to get some stank on it.
Yeah. You got it. And scene.
and some Parkinson's and
scene.
Hey, I get some Ninja Stars. I'm probably really good at that now.
Nope. No, just
They're all at me though.
yeah. Funky Comedina sent me a video of Danny Trejo singing "Ring of Fire" and a raccoon head, and it's
Oh.
probably the worst rendition I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's Danny Trejo. It's got to be the best rendition.
Oh God, it's horrible. It's so horrible.
think
You
his
wonder
first
if
movie was
he's
Anaconda.
ever even heard the song.
Danny Trejo's just like, what he sings is going to be the same.
It just sounded like he was singing the words to the song for the first time ever and had never heard the rhythm of the song ever.
It's like me and TikTok.
Worse.
Oh, that's sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry for you, buddy. Sorry
Yeah.
for you. Sorry for you, boyo.
I'll say it when I'm ready.
Way worse than House of the Rising Hawkeye. Have you heard this song?
House of the Rising Hawkeye.
Well, it's the guy that plays Hawkeye from
Oh, Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner sings
Wow.
House of the Rising Sun, and he
Oh.
just randomly seems to make up words throughout the entire song.
Tourette's.
It's not good.
I think I might have seen part of that and just skipped on by. But I realized I should probably get to one of these things we're supposed to be doing.
What? One of what things?
The notes that we have there's a structure to the show, Boyo.
Oh.
So best movie warning scene ever. So a scene where somebody comes up and says, "Going up there, are you?" Or they come up and they say, like, "Don't go down," or they come up and they say, like, "Don't touch that guy."
Oh,
Best warning scene ever.
honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah, the
The
basically,
gas
like,
station guy.
burying-
Yeah, the gas station guy.
Mine is "You Are Not Ready." Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What?
You know, anybody know it?
No.
No, hang on, wait for them. So it's I'll do it one more time. You are not ready. Oh, other. Anybody?
Funky says yes.
I'll add one more thing. Unless somebody says it. Saying where are you, buddy? I'll do it one more time and I'll add one more word.
You know, saying's just like yes.
You are not
I
ready.
recognize.
Still?
It's not. Is it Gremlins?
There you go.
Is it the
Got it,
old
boyo.
man? Is it the old man?
Yeah, it's the last thing he says. He goes,
Yeah.
You are not ready. Billy. Best warning ever.
Sang was like Big Trouble. No, but excellent movie. Very underrated. Thank God it finally
Predator?
caught a following. Predator. No, that's the big muscle. The big
No,
muscle.
the Predator. The Predator was originally played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I imagine he was like, "You're not ready."
Do you know they didn't use any of his footage? None of it.
Well, they had to pay him if they did. Like they have to pay SAG wages or residuals.
Yeah, they didn't use it because they were like, "This is ridiculous." Like they had.
Well, yeah, he came in with like a split. He's like, "I'm the Predator."
Yeah. John, where are your pants? Where are you know what? Fuck.
All right. Second thing. Terrible video game that you love. You know
Oh.
it's bad. You know it's not fun. Well, it's fun, but you know it's not good. But you love it. I think I already know your answer.
What?
Well, I'll say there's a toad in it.
What, you talking about Battletoads?
Yeah.
No, that's the wife's. The wife loves that game.
Oh, okay. I thought you liked it too.
No, she can't get enough of Battletoads. I did.
She likes playing with 2-player, right? Which is like basically suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime she goes down a tunnel, she's whap, 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 whap against the person that she's playing with, because Battletoads doesn't have friendly fire off. You can beat the shit out of each other in Battletoads.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball. That's probably my guilty pleasure game. It's on the NES.
I remember you talking about it. I've never played it.
So, I mean, it's just like back in the day, like one of the big games back in the day when the NES first came out, like the the big sports game was RBI Baseball. And this is designed just like RBI Baseball, but it's just like weird characters like witches and goblins and like normal people. But it's softball. So like you'd be a witch, but she's got a broom for a bat. Like it's not a game that most people ever played because it just kind of looks stupid and some of the game mechanics can be a little off. But it's just it's my guilty pleasure game. I just love playing it.
Yeah. Mine is Bad Dudes.
Oh God.
Bad Dudes, you can just go to the left of the screen and kick and everybody will die.
Yes.
And then every once in a while in the middle of it, the demon will come and go, blah, blah. And like it's like the most mutant thing that it would scream at you saying, I'm bad. And it scared children like miles away. Like there's literally like people stop coming into this country because they hear I'm bad. And like it's a bad scene. I still like some of my pubic hair has just left me because of me saying that out loud.
Here's one then. Mm-hmm. Let's go the opposite direction of that. What's the we'll ask two here. What's your least favorite game? Like what game do you hate like more than any other game? Oh, somebody said Star Fox. That's a fucking amazing game.
Mine was actually a newer game. It was called Gun. It was a Western.
I remember Gun. I loved that game.
It looked amazing. I beat it in 1 hour and was just like so pissed that was it. It was like, that's it. I paid $60. I took it back to GameStop, and that's before I realized GameStop is like, you have to take out a mortgage. So like I went there and just like, here's $1. I was like, what?
That's like that's the game that actually spawned the idea for Red Dead.
Well, that was good. Gun wasn't.
No, I liked Gun. I thought Gun was a great game.
Well,
it was easy to pick up. It was really easy to learn. The game mechanics were pretty solid on it.
The slow motion was ridiculous. The slow motion was like, not only would it go slow-mo, but you'd be like, like, I don't know why it had to zoom in when they got slow. It was like, and
I think you're the only person with this feeling, John.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No. Does anybody realize that everybody gives these fucking TED Talks and none of them are named Ted?
Oh my God.
Where's Ted? We have to find Ted. Douchebag.
So another thing that I'd like to bring up about, well, we'll say the movie Killer Sofa because you saw a guitar multiple times throughout this movie.
Just there.
Nobody ever plays it. Nobody ever plays it. And John brought up a point. He's like, why is there, he goes, if I go into a house and I see a guitar and it's a guy's house and I see a guitar and he doesn't play it the entire time I'm there, douchebag.
Or
now wait a minute.
About playing it.
Yeah,
I'm like, if it's just there as a display to try to get laid, I will beat him over the head with it in my own head because I don't want to go to jail.
But that's an assumption. Just okay, listen, if you came to my house and I had a guitar sitting in my house and I never mentioned it and I never mentioned anything about playing it and you're like, this guy's a douchebag. My kids questions.
I wouldn't make it past an hour. There'd be all kinds of questions.
Why?
It was like,
why do we have a guitar in your house? I'd be like, I like guitar, man. But do you play? No.
Yeah, I'd be standing there and I was like, why is there a guitar? And I was like, please put the gas and the lighter down. I'm like, why is there a guitar here?
So I'm going to go with one of my least favorite games. And tons of people love it. And I fucking hate this game. And I'm reaching way back for this.
Let's do it.
Asteroids.
Oh, yeah. It's a bitch of a game.
Fucking hated Asteroids.
The thing about it is that you have this little centerpiece, right?
Yeah.
And it takes you like maybe 2,000 years before you realize you can move it.
Yeah. And then once you do,
you realize,
yeah, but then once you do move it, you're like, oh shit.
And then you just die.
I'm never stopping again. And like everything from that point is just you're dead for no reason.
I don't know if you're the right kind of nerd for this one, but do you remember the game Myst?
Yes.
Okay. They just re-released it as VR. You remember it was just still images?
Yeah.
Now they made a 3D world that you can look around.
You had to select things on the screen. And
it's now a 3D, like 360 world that you can look around and move in. They just released it like 2 or 3 months ago.
Is that VR on the computer? Like, okay, so I've been looking at, I talked to you yesterday while I was on my live. And I don't know if I want to get PlayStation VR or if I want to get like
Oculus or
the Oculus Rift. I don't want to get the Oculus. I don't want to get the new Oculus because you always have to be signed into your Facebook.
oh, what?
Yep.
Oh.
The
I
new
don't think the PS4 one would be a well. I do remember playing because Royce had it, and I played the one that came with Battlefront like 1.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. We were in like an X-wing.
Yeah.
But that's really all I
and this
remember
new,
playing.
it's Rogue Squadron.
That's got a lot of them, I guess.
That's VR. The entire game can be VR.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know how many games are available that are worth it to
right.
make it.
Now they're probably all going PS5 too, anyway.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that the PlayStation VR is compatible with PS5. They'd be, I mean, unless they really are trying. But what I'm thinking for is like streaming and whatnot. If I went to go with a standard, and I want to do the scary games.
Oh, I had an idea. You know the Google cameras that that go on top of the car that take like pictures all around?
Yeah.
You can rent those and do a 360 movie that people can play on their computer. They can literally pan from camera to camera.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's ever been a short film done on one of those.
So you're talking about doing like a point of view movie. Because essentially you'd want to strap that to like one of your actors.
Right. And then have them go through the whole scene and have shit happening everywhere. So you can watch the whole movie this way, then go back and watch it again this way and see like a whole different movie.
Yeah, you don't even have to rent the ones from Google. They make 4K fucking 360 cameras that do that.
That was my impression of John Denver. And I'm very excited about this opportunity. I really want originally I was going to try to do a 3D movie. Because the old After Effects can actually do the blue and green or blue and red 3D.
Right.
You can actually do that to anything.
Yeah.
I was going to do a Spade in 3D. But then I realized Spade can only see in 2D. So it makes sense that he would only be in like a side scroller.
I would like to see an 8-bit Spade movie.
That's what I was saying. Going that way versus 3D.
Where he's like
basically just like seeing the world through Spade's eyes.
Yeah.
Spade's eye.
You gotta get the guys, but not. I wouldn't do it like that though. I would legitimately make it like a side-scrolling movie. But you'd have to find the guys that do. There's that YouTube channel. I can't remember what their name is. Bitly, I think, is what their name is. But all they do is they take like old video games and everything, and they like modify them so that they talk.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, they're so good.
Oh yeah, they did like was it Sonic the Hedgehog was like their main character on that show?
They did for the longest time, and they do a lot of stuff. Like one of my favorite ones is they did the Avengers game. And you know, at the beginning and end of every Avengers game in the arcade, it would say, you know, don't do drugs, blah blah blah.
Yes.
And
as they all took like potions.
Yeah, and just like one of them was like, what are you talking about? You can't say that. Like it was Captain America, and don't forget, don't do drugs. He's like, literally, that's how you became. And then they were talking about like the Flash and things like that, and like all these other characters, like none of us do drugs. He's like, well, you've got superpowers. He's like, yeah. Because I got struck by lightning, like it was something like that. And
I remember we did a sketch that we tried to get on the air on PAX Television, where a guy, I think it was Jenkins, was trying to get all the superpowers, and it just cut to him throwing up blood and like laying on the ground, like there was an open microwave and like all these syringes, and like he tried everything to get superpowers, and he just literally turned into mush. They said no. And I don't know why we thought we were going to even get that. We didn't know. We knew it was a Christian network. There's no way they're going to do it, but we had to pitch it anyway just to see their face.
So many things on that fucking network, man.
I did. I got to say fuck on a Christian network.
It's got to be. It's got to be up there on the crowning achievements list.
It is. I will definitely admit that Trevor Moore, who now runs The Whitest Kids We Know, he was on the network with me. He did way more than I did. He got away with way more, but I was trying.
Somebody said you can play Minecraft on the PlayStation PS4 VR. That's awesome. If I was 12, I'd love the idea of that. But I'm looking to do.
I think you're a wonderful person, and I think every game it fits a certain specific people. And I don't know much about Minecraft, but I love your face. And what does he say now? He has a
Go
new
ahead,
thing.
pander to the audience. Pander to the audience.
He says, what does he say? I'll punch you. Here's a new thing. Anyways,
Who?
DeFranco.
Mm.
His
Yeah,
new
he doesn't say I love your face anymore.
he brought it back.
Did he?
He did just recently. He stopped because I
God
figured
damn it.
him.
He's
But
gonna,
then,
he's gonna yell at me now.
He brought no, I don't yell at you. I think he's probably pretty proud of that. Like at the end of the day, like so many people say it now. Like you launched it onto TikTok, but he launched it onto YouTube. But I don't think people were saying it, and you made it a thing. I think you'd be pretty proud of that.
Punch you in the throat.
No, that's what he says. Yeah, I'll punch you in the throat.
I'll
That's
punch you
his
in
new
the
thing.
throat.
Because I think he did that so that nobody would say it. Because I
I'll
was
say
going to say like, "I'll punch you in the throat with love." Like,
I'll take that next.
yeah, but nobody's going to say that other than you.
That's
Oh, imagine Toby's little sis going like, "I'll punch you in the throat with love." Like it's not going to happen.
Are we putting a bet on this? Are we putting
Yeah, I'll put a bet on that. How
okay?
many, like now,
How
this
much
has to be. This has
Wait
to
a minute.
last more than like a week.
No, I was gonna say, how much time do I have to
Well-
get people to start doing this?
I think it's not so much about getting them to do it; it's getting them to keep doing it. I think that's where the bet needs to be in play. Because if they just do, you tell people to do it, they're going to do it, and then they'll eventually get past
See,
it.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I never told anybody to say I love your face.
Oh, I know, I agree with that. But if this
Right?
would be you getting them to do that, though, this would be
So,
different.
yeah, so I would never tell anybody to say this. I would just start ending every live like that. I would start saying it at the end of videos and see if anybody else starts doing it. So that's why I'm asking, how long until we're going to say, all right, we're going to try to get people to catch on to this?
All right, if you're going to do that, I'm going to find like a '60s news reporter and something like I'm going to try to bring something that he said. Who am I thinking of? I'm going to come up with something.
Are you thinking of Walter Cronkite?
Yeah. What did he say? What was his closing remark?
I can't remember. I know, but I knew exactly who you were talking about because he always said
Yeah,
the
exactly.
same
Yeah, he
thing.
said something. All right, we'll get back to that.
Go
I'll
fuck yourself,
figure that
San
out.
Diego. Fucking
I'll get like 3 people to say that. Like, all right, and make sure you find Waldo. Just whatever it is. And I'll get like the 5 gravers to do it, and then that'll be it. But I'll be a victory to me.
We're gonna just have to start ending every live with. Don't forget to throat punch somebody with some love today.
Don't forget to give an STD to a small child. No, wait, that's not it.
Everybody, go back and see Toby.
Everybody, go back and see.
What do you mean he stopped his live?
Oh yeah, that
The look of
when was
panic.
that? Do we have a date on that? Like that had to be like soon.
Oh, that had to be.
It was early in the year, wasn't it?
That was before. I want to say that was before the meetup.
Well, I didn't go to your meetup. That was
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It had to have been before that meetup because
When did you do your
after
first meetup? Was it the end of the year or the beginning of the year?
No, it was beginning. It was April.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty soon after we like discovered each other in the biblical sense. Or like
Yes, and then we met each other and we spoke on the phone a couple of times, and then I was live and we were doing a follow live.
which I know what that was.
Yeah, and it had started to it had trickled down, because at that point I think I was getting about 2,500 people per live.
Ugh.
And it had dropped down to around 300-400. And I was like, you guys want to do one more? We'll do one more. And then we'll all go over see John. We'll go to D-Flix, and then I'll cut my live out and I'll meet you guys over there. So I sent I think like 350 people ended up showing up.
Something like that. I had
And
like
you just-
2. It was like me, Batmanuel, and like we. And
Yeah,
then, then it was like,
You just went into, and you just went into straight panic mode. And I was
started
in
doing
there.
I started like trying to pull out my old jokes. Like I was literally like throwing out like Mr. T jokes, like eat your school. And I don't know. I was just throwing I was like Eddie Murphy joke, I think. I was just trying anything. And then I realized it wasn't working. I was like, okay, go back to Toby.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't.
And they were like, Toby ended his live. And you're like, what do you mean he ended his live?
So this is the thing. This is what the information that I now understand in this retrospectively looking back at it. They were like, we can't go back to Toby, and we're staying with you forever.
Yes.
Like, that was they literally like, we're with you now.
We're with you.
We'll
He
be
is-
with him too. We're with you now.
He has abandoned us. He's abandoned us.
He has abandoned us with a baseball bat. And
So there it is. There's Cronkite. And
Was
that's the way it is.
Oh,
That's what it is.
That's because I can't keep saying "go fuck yourself." Like, I mean, the new people, I said that to like a new person, and they're like, "What?" And I saw "what" as I ended the live. I was like, "Shit!" Like, it's just because they don't know. They don't know the old ways. They don't know. They don't get it. So like, "Hey, go fuck yourself." What? What? It's just like, so, I can't do that all the time. So I have to come up with something else. So, and that's the way. I like it. You know, it just to be.
We not found the date. It was actually after. It was after the meetup and after we had gotten together. Then
was it?
And she says June 20th.
Oh, who said it?
We.
Oh yeah, she knows. Oh wait, we got a thing.
We. Ah. Oh God. Pants. So for anybody that wants to know, Spade versus Psychotic is available on Amazon Prime. You can go ahead and watch it for free if you're an Amazon Prime member. Also, you can go ahead and check out The Coffin Bound Kings by Matthew Ewald. It is critically acclaimed. He's won a couple awards on it now. That's also available on Amazon Prime for rental only. Oh, hey, what's going on?
We have my lives, and it says, she said the 20th of June. Everybody go back to Toby. That's what it's called.
What day was that?
June 20th.
Yeah, June 20th. Everyone go back to Toby.
Some of these I don't know. Like whoever got Reggie's Crabs on July 22nd.
I remember that one.
I don't remember what Fortnite is coming. Oh, I know what that is. Wow. Okay, this is kind of cool.
I just love that they made you a list.
Well, I'm me, and I forget where I am all the time. So this is to remind me that I did something.
I get stuff like this, this is awesome. Did Grimlock send you one? So also on Amazon Prime, you can watch Plan 9 by Darkstone Entertainment with John. Oh, he's back.
I'd like to show you the difference between the Gravers and the Army. So show it again.
Somebody sent you a dick pop and a bag of pussies.
Vagina cookies.
Vagina cookies.
Yeah. They didn't send it. They literally, Rum brought it to my house and gave it to me. Oh, you're excited. That's probably not good for you.
Hi, my name is They Call Me Toby. Welcome to Arrow 404. Along with me, as always, is D-Flix, also known as John Johnson, the director. Episode 7. I can't even believe that we've made it this far. This is going to be an awesome show. Today, we're going to be reviewing Killer Sofa, which is not even about a sofa, oddly enough.
We're on episode 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been going one off each time for like the last 3 weeks just to see who would catch it and who wouldn't. Nobody so far.
No, just me, because I have a list.
Just you. Well, but the first one as well was like not really.
Yes, it was not really.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Well, we have to pick our TikTokers.
Okay.
So who would you like to put a spotlight on?
Okay.
And
now
possibly a bullet mark. What?
I'm putting a spotlight on somebody that has more followers than somebody that I normally would mention, but just because she has made me laugh hysterically just with her reenactment of stand-up comedians. She's taking she takes stories from stand-up comedians and she like acts them out, and I think it's fucking hilarious. She's awesome. She goes by the name of Sarah Elizabeth Hyde. Lately, her big kick is she's been doing oh God, what's his? Chad Daniels is the name of the stand-up comedian, and I'm a huge fan of Chad Daniels. She's got 115,000 followers on TikTok. She just hit 115,000 today, but she is phenomenal. I highly recommend. If you need a really good laugh, go and check her out. She's fucking hysterical.
Okay, I need to do that myself because I don't think I'm familiar.
Yeah.
So I'm picking a couple of guys that are not quite that high. They're getting there though. They're making their little steps. to get there. They're called the Regulators. They're up and coming, but they do happen to have a comedy album with what was that guy's name?
Slow-mo?
Yes, Slow-mo was it? No, it was you had Slow-mo, you had
Silverback Mill?
Silverback Mel, you had They Call Me Angel. No, it was, you got the little guy beside me who is
It's right there.
am I? Oh shit, it has our name. Wait, what did I say? Okay, I'm D-Flex. Good. All right, well, yeah. So I'm really glad I read that. So yes. I haven't listened to it yet. I just bought it. So I'm because I had to use my iPad to do it. You can only get it through iTunes, I think, right now. I don't think it's
as of right now, it's only available on iTunes. And essentially what this is so a couple of weeks ago, you remember I told you, hey, I'm going up with these guys over the weekend to a record.
I wasn't invited
to a record label. And this was pretty much all the people that were on the 4 Letter Words podcast. So myself, Silverback Mel, Rebel the Scum, Slow-mo. We all went up there and they wanted us to do a bunch of skits that would go in between the songs on an upcoming album. But we did so many, I think that they ended up just making an album out of them on their own.
Oh, cool. I've also made it a link in my bio. So if you want to go find it, you can check out my bio and you can find a way to get all these wonderful sketches I wasn't a part of.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, somebody asked, yes, this is the spaceship from Spaceballs.
Oh, nice. Barf.
Barf. Barf. But yeah, it was a good time. We're supposed to be doing like a tour, I guess, but it's just my availability is like way lower than theirs. So we'll see how many I go on to.
Yeah, it's always tough. Like the traveling and like when you do it that way, you have to like kind of stick together and move in like a pack kind of thing.
Yeah,
that does take a lot of time.
Well, but their thing is that when they tour, they're essentially only doing it for the weekend, so that makes it easier for me. But I mean, still, I mean, I've got a pretty packed schedule between work and home life. I don't have the motorcycle club anymore. But
we're announcing that.
Well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, man steps away from motorcycle club, no big deal.
All right, boy.
But I got 20 people in here, and none of them were part of my motorcycle club, so I'm not worried about it.
Sure. We should interrogate them.
No, I'm positive.
Where were you?
Well, there is. Well, I don't know because there is Jennifer's in here, so. So, but yeah, the comedy album itself is just a bunch of different skits. They're done really well as far as like the interaction between everybody. I pre-purchased it too because I don't know if is it available for full. I don't think it's available for full download yet. I think it's still in like what do you call it, pre-order stage.
Well, I think Bobby said I could listen to it, so
you can listen to parts of it, but I don't think you can listen to the entire thing. So like I'm on track number 1, and go figure they used me as a cop.
Yeah.
So I'm on track number 1. The only downside is like the only thing that I didn't like about it is that they didn't do certain things with the audios, such as like I'm a cop, I'm stopping 2 guys that are stopped on the side of the road, but it doesn't sound like we're outside. It doesn't sound like I'm talking to them from any type of distance, so it would kind of sound like how you and I are,
Toby,
just sitting next to each other. What?
Come here.
What?
When you're promoting your work, you don't talk about the things you don't like about it. And
you always talk about it. You always talk about it.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Everything can be done better.
You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't.
I loved it.
That.
I absolutely loved it. I had a great experience down there. I had a great time. I fucking met some cool people. I met with what's his Austin Tolliver, musician, great guy.
Goddamn spud. In any case, it's in my bio. You can go check it out right now. It's wonderful.
It is good. So the like I said, the skits themselves are hilarious. I think my favorite one was Slow Mo is acting as an employee at Chick-fil-A, and Rebel the Scum is his manager. And Bobby and Eddie call them asking if they call and ask for a good fried chicken place in the area, and it just kind of goes downhill from there.
The one thing I like about the group that's put together is that everybody's comedy is so different. Like each one of you guys comes from a completely different place, like dramatically.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what I'm looking forward to, like to see that kind of come together. Because we do ELE, but there's a little bit more drama to it. There's some comedy, but it isn't quite as light as I think this would be. And all you guys are comedians, so like this, that's what I'm looking forward to.
So I will say this: Bobby and Eddie have. I mean, first of all, they've been friends for so long, but anytime they do something like this, it's just such an organic thing. Even if they're literally making it up on the spot, it's so organic for them. It's so simple for them to just sound believable when they're having their like every skit that they're in. It just sounds like natural. I'm like, how many times do you guys have had this conversation, like in real life? And they're like, we haven't. I was like,
Bobby will get me because he will be talking to me in a TikTok, and I'll walk up, and then he'll look at me and go, "Oh, I was just done talking to you," and then post it. Yeah, and then it's like it's so seamless that I forget that he actually just posted a video, and then I'm like on the toilet later. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Slow Mo gets me with that actually. Like he because he has it all planned out in his head, and he just starts shooting. He'll come up and talk to me, and I'm the type of person that when you're talking to me, I'll look at you in the face. Well, he'll be holding his phone like back here.
Oh, yeah, he's so good at like
I won't realize that I won't realize that he's got his phone because he's flipping the phone towards us. So I'm just thinking, oh, he's moving his phone or he's like holding it out like this, and I'm not realizing he's recording a TikTok the whole damn time.
Yeah, they kept throwing me in TikToks, and I'm very good at like throwing everything out of whack.
Oh yeah,
I remember they asked me who the greatest Avenger was, and I said Mr. T, and then the whole thing just went blah. It's just they had a plan, and I was like, I like Mr. T, and then
do you see this? This is a wrench.
Yeah, I got this. Okay, the last subject we have as we wrap up this show is who is your favorite terrible actor?
John Johnson. My favorite terrible actor?
Yeah, like like they're not great, but you love their performances anyway. You love watching them. Like, I mean, there are people, and I will argue this. I will not say that William Shatner is a bad actor because I don't believe he is. I think he just had a delivery system he did on Star Trek, the old show, that has been mimicked. Yeah, if you watch him on Boston Legal, he's not that.
No.
Same thing with Jeff Goldblum. I think Jeff Goldblum performs the same over and over again, and he gets thrown in the category with that. But I don't think that's the case.
I love Jeff Goldblum. I really do. But I don't think I'd ever consider him a bad actor.
He gets thrown in because everybody says, Goldblum doesn't play anybody but Goldblum. You know what I mean? And and I don't think there's a place for those kind of actors.
I mean, if we were going to use that kind of statement, you could say the same thing about Ryan Reynolds then.
Yeah, I mean, he's done some things that are broken out of it. The one where he buried, I think is what it's called.
I didn't see that one.
I don't recommend it for a lot of people because it's intense. Like the whole movie is him buried alive, and like there's no reprieve from it. There's no leaving the coffin, and but nowhere in there did I feel like I was watching Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
He was never witty or anything.
So if I'm really going to dig down to it, if we're going to say somebody that I truly believe is potentially considered a bad actor, like, and when I think about bad actor, I don't mean somebody that like can't necessarily deliver their lines or doesn't seem believable. I mean somebody that is just every time they act, it doesn't seem like it fits the character or the situation that they're in. Like they're the one that's like out of sorts on it. I gotta go with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Nick Cage. He's so constantly over the top and like out of the scene.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, sometimes it fits, but it takes work to make it fit.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that, and he like that's what he wants.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna go with crap.
Well, somebody else here kind of made a good point, and you can keep thinking about your point while I'm looking at this. So Jester brought this up, and he says, you know, Bruce Willis is essentially the same thing over and over, as so is Stallone and Schwarzenegger. And yeah, they all have the ability to, but you're comparing 90s action stars. Like each of those action stars is essentially the same person with a different accent or look, but
Yes.
they're all about the same.
You got Jean-Claude Van Damme and
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
But they say the same thing. Just one is like one is looking at you a lot, like the other one's trying to find you.
Mm-hmm.
One thought he was invincible. The other thought he could fly. They're both wrong.
I'll tell you another one that I really like that I don't think is really the greatest actor, but I think every time I've seen him, I've loved him, and that's Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, I'll give you that. There was a couple of performances I've seen him do. Actually, when he played, it was a parody, but he was playing a handicapped man.
Yes.
He actually played it very well. Like it was very well put together. I will say Rowdy Piper.
Oh God, They Live.
They Live and Welcome to Frogtown. Like,
yes,
he's not great, but he's so fun. Like, it's just fun to watch him.
I would have loved to known what it was like to be on set with him, because he just kind of looks like the guy that, while the moment the camera starts shooting, he's dead serious. But I just feel like the moment that they're like, cut, he's just like, all right. And he's just like having a good time.
He's so happy to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, he was my favorite wrestler, man. Like, he's my favorite 80s wrestler.
I guess, well, my favorite wrestler is not because of wrestling, but I love Andre the Giant. Everything about the man.
Well, I mean, he was your truly gentle giant. Like, he was just, from what I understand, he was just like the nicest person.
I took a 3-hour car ride with Animal from the Road Warriors,
mm-hmm.
and all he talked about was Andre the Giant the whole time. And because apparently Animal was, well, not the brightest of the group. So they would trick him to being last when they arrive, because Andre would capture the last person and make him drink with him.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Animal constantly had to drink with Andre and just would tell these stories. He's like, we were there, and then he was holding me in the floor of a lobby. And
this essentially is a beer can, and Andre, like a standard beer can in Andre the Giant's hand. Like,
it's because of the pain that Andre had, that he had the only thing that would help was alcohol.
Right.
And he would drink so much, and Animal would always get the short stick and have to be with Andre. And he said he literally was being held by Andre on a floor in a lobby, just cradled. And that's how, and Animal's a big dude. Like, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
And he said, like, he woke up being held. And he was like, because Andre's like, hey, buddy. And actually, he said Andre would call everybody boss, because he wanted everybody to feel like they were like bigger than him. So he would call everybody boss.
That's cool, man. Yeah, like I said, I've yet to read or hear about an Andre the Giant story from somebody that has, known him or physically been, with him or around him that didn't have something phenomenal to say about the man.
Oh yeah, there's never been anything negative that I know of. Like nothing other than obviously he, was hard to deal with when he was drunk, because he would just fall down and that's it.
Well, I mean, you got an 8-foot guy that weighs like 450 pounds. It's going to be a problem if they pass out.
Yeah, they started getting ropes, like line ropes, and they would just block him off. And that's it. That's where he is.
Oh shit! All right. So, well, that brings us. We're actually at the end of the show. That was actually a quicker show than I thought it was going to end up being.
Yeah, I'll do better next time.
That time went by fast. So, everybody, we're going to get going. We're going to go ahead and close up the show. I hope you had a great time with us. I'm sure John's going to yell at me about the how to properly promote something after the
Yes.
show.
That was a fail.
But I love your guys' faces. Make sure you're good to one another. And John, do you got anything that you'd like to add to it?
No.
And with that being said, for God's sakes, make somebody smile today, would you?
Boyo.
Error 404 is now over. Time ill spent that you will never get back.